always show up. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. Everything I do so instinctive and so passionate. Every word I move so descriptive like an adjective. I got a vendetta against people who patented being negative when you should be getting after it. I got facts over tracks, this and that, spitting slow, spitting fast. I could roast, I could gas, think I'm okay at last, but I don't know if that can erase all the past and the pettiness. A reflection of the emptiness, hilarious. You think you're worth my time, you're delirious, mysterious, because you are behind a fake exterior, inferior. You know I'll always be a bit superior. Get off of me, this ain't no humble brag. I want you to hear words, you can say them back. I want you to feel free from the chains that last, and to believe in what you got, it was built to last, yeah. Now that I've been put through hell, I never got anyone's help. I had to do it all myself. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up.
Welcome to the Off Label Podcast, your twice weekly dose of sanity in an insane world with bonus episodes. Look, ladies and gentlemen, we got some things to talk about tonight. Some weird shit's been happening, and it's going to kind of evolve over time here. We're going to hit it up for the first time with everything. We got Kash Patel was removed as acting ATF director and replaced by a Daniel Driscoll. I want to take a look at that and actually kind of do a little bit of a dive into that one because don't really know much about Daniel Driscoll myself, so it's going to be a learning experience for me as well. We also have, what is it? Oh, yeah. We are now monitoring social media for our immigrants coming into this country for anti-Semitism. Yeah. Hatred of the Jews. That's going to be a determining factor of whether you can come into this country or not, ladies and gentlemen. We also got the IRS agrees to send... Our acting commissioner for the IRS is resigning after agreeing to send over information to immigrants over their tax information. We'll take a look at that as well, see what's going on there. We got another little story that's two of them I'm going to bring up. Rumble's going to be a thing here, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to leave that to be a surprise for you guys, but ain't nothing going to happen until this button over here gets pushed. So should we push a button or not? No?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Hey kid, don't ever let them get inside your head. They'll tell you what to do in life instead of everything you know that you can get. Don't let them guide your life towards regret. I'll fight for what I love with every breath. My past is filled with things I won't forget. I use them all to push me to my best. So treat the worst of times just like a test. If only I could go back in time, I'd tell myself that everything will end up alright. Just push yourself, test yourself, figure out what you like, and find your limits, don't be rigid, always work towards a prime. Surround yourself with open minds, people can change your life. A few friends with intent can help you feel alive. Find a passion, take some action, and with a little time, just be patient, make a statement, try to enjoy your life. They'll try to kick you while you're down. They wanna rise up while you drown. They wanna fill your head with doubt. They're silently scared that you'll figure it out. I'll make it look like I'm losing. Won't bother hiding my bruises. And when they finally think you're wounded, then it's your chance to be ruthless. I'll make it look like I'm losing. Won't bother hiding my bruises. And when they finally think you're wounded, then it's your chance to be ruthless.
Now, this is a perfect example of what it looks like to get owned.
Do you agree/disagree that the Make America movement, Make America Great movement, again, you know, MAGA movement, is a cult?
No. Why don't you explain to me and the audience what is a cult?
Of course. Okay. Do you know any characteristics of a cult?
Sure. I mean, you could take the Jonestown death cult, of which there was a I don't know, a charismatic leader that constantly lied people, and they took him out of everyday normal life and leads them towards ostracization and cutting off of family ties. Am I getting closer to describing
I will
the
read
Democrat
you,
Party?
According to the... No. What I'm talking about is MAGA.
According
to the Bethune Cook University website, characteristics of a cult include isolating members and criticizing them for leaving. Would you say that members of the MAGA movement will criticize others for leaving?
Well, yeah. I
No,
mean, but you guys
just say
criticize
why.
players that transfer out of the University of Tennessee football team. That's not a cult. I would encourage you to dig deeper and be more of a free thinker.
And I will, and I am a free thinker. And I grew up in a conservative household. And once I left my parents and their beliefs, and I moved to college in a very conservative state, I actually become more progressive.
Okay, and so how is your relationship with your parents?
I mean, it's fine. We don't agree on most things, but...
Wait, so they didn't kick you out for having a different opinion? They're terrible cult members.
Boom shakalaka.
Now, this is a perfect
Hell
example.
yeah. That's what I'm talking about, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome.
Right.
Hi to everybody. Oh, that is the Rumble side. Let's go to the YouTube one here. What's going on? We got Rick Donner, and let me bring up the chat again. I'm sorry. This is getting here.
There you go.
My way. I forgot to bring it up while the things were happening. We got Rick Donner with us. Carolyn Hall, how you doing? Let's see, Muffin Radio's with us on that side. We got Rick Donner on both sides with Jennifer on the Rumble side there. All right. Got a small little crowd here tonight. Maybe some more will come in. But ladies and gentlemen, got Scott with us tonight. Let's give Davey a little bit of time to let his heart calm down on him. I don't know what's going on with Davey. I hope he gets better. Actually, the motherfucker's got COVID.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He just told us that. Yeah.
Yeah. He's just like, hey, I got COVID. That's why we feel like shit. So, yeah, we'll give him the night off, ladies and gentlemen. But we got Scott with us. Scott, how you doing, man?
Not too bad. Not too bad. Ready for fishing this weekend. That's what I am ready for. I got Monday off work. I took that off, so I'll be Sunday and Monday fishing around here. I think I'm going to be going to southern Michigan as well a little bit. But besides that, yeah, just ready to talk about some of this, getting the good gaming going. Yesterday was fun, fighting some new enemies in the good old Helldivers world.
Oh, hell yeah, dude. That needs to happen again. That was fucking fun. They added Illuminate into Helldivers, and they're like zombies, like badass zombies. And dude, it's difficult. It adds a difficult layer.
It's difficult as hell. But yeah, besides that, ready to talk about a little bit of these interesting things that have seemed to have happened over the little bit of this course of time.
All right. I mean, you brought this up to my attention. I didn't hear anything about this until last night here, but let's go to my screen here with this. When we got Kash Patel was removed as acting ATF director, U.S. official confirms. FBI Director Kash Patel was removed from his role as acting director of the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms and Explosives and replaced by Army Secretary Daniel Driscoll, U.S. officials confirmed on Wednesday. Reuters was the first to report the leadership change, which the U.S. Department of Justice has not disclosed publicly. I cannot read. As of Wednesday afternoon, Patel's photo and title of acting director was still listed on the ATF's website. Patel was sworn in as acting ATF leader on February 24th, 3 days after he was sworn in as FBI director, a role he continues to hold. It is unusual for one person to be tapped to lead two major Justice department units at the same time, which I will actually agree with.
Yeah. Because it's two high profile jobs, man. You know, like I'm surprised they even put him in there in the first place, which I mean, yeah, they needed a placeholder. I get that. But it was kind of weird to just hear about this Driscoll guy that they put in, which we'll get into possibly who a little bit of he is, but yeah, it just came out of nowhere.
Yeah, I've never heard of the man, honestly. And it's just like Pam Bondi was with me. Okay, I'm maybe my words a little bit with Pam Bondi, but it's just like that with me because she comes up out of nowhere. And then there was that video that Davey played of her just having like this heavy Southern accent. And I was just like, nope, I'm done. No more. I don't want it.
Right.
I may be a little bit surprised, but I don't know anything about Driscoll at all. And that does kind of it kind of worries me because all these people that just come up out of nowhere, even like Obama came up out of nowhere and he was president. What, he was in the House or Senate or something like that for like not even or roughly around a decade, and then he was president.
Right. Yeah. Well, his
Kamala Harris was the same thing.
Yeah, I know. I don't know how she came up. I would like to hear if she went to one of the meetings, but every time one of these people that comes up prominently, I'll get a little conspiratorial as they visited the Bilderberg meetings as as an unknown or a very small person. Then the next year or so,
right,
they're blown the fuck up. Kristen Cinema, Obama, forgot who. There was a couple more, but those are the two main ones that just fucking came up out of nowhere. You know,
right? Like Kristen Cinema, that one became a name because she actually started to change a little bit. Like nobody ever gave a fuck about her, but she started to change views a little bit
because of her dissent. Yeah,
right. That one, I still don't really give a shit. She just went independent like everybody else does. But I just like Mayor Adams. You hear about that, man?
What? Oh,
Mayor Adams is now running as an independent.
Yeah, which is funny.
But we got that going on. So I mean, I knew he was running both agencies, and at that point in time, I was like, "That's gonna be that's a hefty fucking ordeal, man." I knew he was running both, but he was acting ATF director, which cool, you know, saving the spot pretty much.
Well, they're like this guy, him getting put in. I've never heard his stance on anything as far as 2A or any of that, but apparently Driscoll was in the United States Army for 3.5 years, serving as a lieutenant. He was an armor officer between 2007 and 2011. So, I mean, at least he was a lieutenant in the Army. And I haven't heard, there's like no other information about like his stance or anything else, so I'll have to look up more on him.
Army secretary, yeah. I'd have to as well, because I'm pretty sure I've at least heard him speak somewhere along the lines, and I just never realized it. But
right. And to be honest, he probably hasn't went against the 2A or probably said anything about red flag laws, because you know for a fact that shit would already be put up on Twitter or something within a couple hours.
Yeah, that definitely would have. Everybody would have been digging into all that dumb shit. But yeah. I don't know why everybody's trying to make a big deal about this whole thing anyway. Because he was only acting director, and it says a Justice Department official confirmed Patel's removal and said it had nothing to do with his job performance. The official did not say why Patel was removed. Because you might have found somebody else to put in that position? Either that or, hell, you're working this man to fucking death. So he's ATF director and FBI director. This motherfucker's on the field getting these goddamn these immigrants, these people who that story that we covered about. Okay, that wasn't Kash Patel that got that one at that point in time, but the story we covered about the dude who had the largest explosive cache under his house. You know, he's like 150 pounds of explosives. Would have leveled the fucking his half of his city fucking block, and they're just like, all right, so this is happening. Nitroglycerin in the refrigerator.
Right, that's fucking crazy. And also, what did the FBI just seize like 46,000 some odd fucking pounds of narcotics and whatever else? It's like they've been on some shit. So,
and every time they're on the fucking lines, man. We covered, or what was it, Kristi Noem? You know, getting these immigrants and getting these gang members. She was out there. She was actually talking to these people. These women have more balls than most men out there now. I'm impressed, man.
Well, that guy standing next to Kristi Noem had some pretty big balls with that fucking flag and she was doing with that rifle right at his fucking dome. I was like, holy shit.
I don't even give a shit she killed Old Yeller, though. Yeah, she did do that, though. That was, I didn't even want to bring that up, but I was just like, God damn.
Davies, she was flagging the fuck out of that dude.
Davies over there with a hard on underneath his desk there, and I'm just like, she could have shot him in the head 5 times.
Right.
Yeah, that was great though. To see these people in the field, you are actually putting confidence in me as a very skeptical motherfucker of all of you. You are actually putting confidence in me that you are actually trying to do your job at that point. Did you ever see Mayorkas in the field?
No, fuck no.
The only time you saw Pete Buttigieg in the field was what, 2 months after East Palestine, and even he came back from that shit feeling sick.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the entire administration. I mean, all you saw was just like these other little stooge motherfuckers. You never saw anybody else until it was time to be in front of the camera and tell America what happened. You never saw them. But now I'm seeing like Kristi Noem down there. I'm seeing Pam Bondi. I'm seeing Kash Patel on the fucking field. And I'm just like, all right, I tend to believe you a little bit more.
Right. And that's how it should be. Especially like, yeah, seeing Kash Patel really fucking be into it. He's really fucking, like you said, on the field and with it,
Right.
You know, doing his fucking job. But obviously the only thing we're still missing is the Epstein files, which we got told, but we'll see. We'll see. Things are supposed to be coming out now. I just heard that fucking Tulsi Gabbard was like the JFK stuff, and was it JFK and somebody else's files are supposed to be coming out very soon or something. We keep getting told this, so it's like it gets frustrating.
It does. It does. And I will tell you this. There was reports before all that shit about the Epstein files, the first bullshit hubbub about that. There were reports that the FBI was not giving anything up about it, except for what was already leaked anyway. So again, you know, like I told Davey, and Davey kind of passed on to you, the only thing you got from that was the shit that was leaked was not a right-wing conspiracy theory that wasn't made the fuck up. That was actual real. And you got to see more information than what they wanted to show you. So.
Right.
But yeah, it's that kind of thing. But you are right. That Epstein file shit, it needs to come out. It does.
It does. It has to, because they're going to lose so much credibility and support from people that have fucking backed them.
Dude,
you know?
Dude, how fucked up would it be if we play up this JFK shit all this time and the files that are released say like Iran did it or something? You know how fucked up that would be? That would be like the hey, yeah, remember the grassy knoll situation. That really didn't happen the way you did. You remember Mexican aliens, everybody, Mexican aliens are real.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then they just keep rolling this psyop and just be like, Iran did it. Now we got to go to war.
Yeah, I know, right? Well, it's funny. According to Shapiro, it's not important who killed JFK. It's just fine. Like it's not important. It doesn't matter.
I wonder why.
Mm-hmm.
Because
I wonder why.
It is important. Because all roads lead to our federal government assassinating the president of the United States at the time, because the president of the United States at the time was telling you exactly what the country was doing.
Right.
Does that not sound familiar?
Right. I only got one question for Ben Shapiro is, why are you gay? That's what I want to know. Why are you gay?
I don't even know what crawled up his ass here lately. It's just like, he raised the fuck out. As you remember when it became like, God damn it, the dude from, that's how bad it was. That's how bad it is. I can't remember his name. The dude from Florida who wore the high heel fucking boots.
I don't know.
You know who I'm talking about. The governor. Ron DeSantis. There we go.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, where he had the uphill boots on the, yeah.
Yeah, when it was like Ron DeSantis or Trump, who's going to be the front runner for the presidency of the United States? They went Ron DeSantis hard fucking core and fucked it all up. I mean, they could have actually spearheaded that, but they fucked it all up. Especially Ron DeSantis' campaign crew, where any little criticism, they came back at you hard, which is what I fucking do. But I'm not running a campaign. You know what I'm saying?
I know.
I will call you out on your stupidity and I will roast you for it, but I'm not campaigning for anything. So their campaign staff was going hard on people on social media. And you want people to vote.
And I think it was like, I'm not a fan of Laura Loomer, but when she tried to go to Ron DeSantis' thing, they like kicked her out. They wouldn't even let her in and shit. So you're already automatically just being a fucking dick to people who are supposed to be even on your side. So,
right.
You know, I don't think he has much of a shot at being president, to be honest.
But to be honest with you, though, Laura Loomer she will start up some shit just to get.
Yeah, she's a fucking psycho. Yeah. I'm not a fan of her at all. I really don't like her, but still, you shouldn't be doing that to her.
I mean, she looks more shovel-faced than she should. I'm going to be honest.
She looks like the fucking Saw doll from the movie. Would you like to play a game?
That cheekbone surgery or whatever the fuck she had, that was botched as shit. Let's just be honest.
It's terrible, bro. It's terrible.
I don't even, that's just like, I don't even care. Do what you do, but.
Yeah.
Calm the fuck down a second, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, as far as like this Driscoll dude, I don't know what's gonna go on with this as far as that goes.
Yeah.
It does.
I mean, hopefully he does. Hopefully he gets in and he does good. That's all I'm really hoping for.
Right. You were taking it to that. You want the gun rights focus. Attorney General Pam Bondi, who has made protecting gun rights a key part of her agenda, has launched a task force to focus on enforcing the Second Amendment of the Constitution of the United States, which protects the right to bear arms, according to a memo seen by Reuters. She said the FBI or the ATF would serve on the task force along with representatives from other parts of the Justice Department, including Civil Rights Division. Trump previously ordered the Department of Review to review a slew of firearm regulations implemented during Joe Biden's administration. Blah blah blah. I still can't fucking read. Whatever. The ATF earlier this week formally repealed its so-called zero tolerance policy, which called for revoking the licenses of gun dealers who willfully committed serious violations such as failing to conduct background checks. That I'll agree with. You shouldn't be doing that anyway. We have a universal background check as it goes. Unless you have a carry permit, which is saying you are good. So if you're failing to do the basics of your job, yeah, you should be 100% punished.
Right.
The Monday Post included a quote from that, but yeah.
Well, and that was that big thing to like why everybody has a big problem with them trying to say that their universal background check, to where it's like, say if I take my that gun, my rifle right behind me, if I take that and I want to sell it to my son, then I have to background check him. But if I background check him with that makes me a fucking FFL.
Right.
So then there's like violations in there where they try to get you with that, where it's like you'll be committing a felony, you know?
Right. Yep, they do that. And he's just like, I don't want to bring it up. There was just something in a hearing I heard earlier. It would take too long to explain. I don't want to squirrel out that hard on it. But yeah, I do get your point with that as far as that goes, because it's a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation in this.
Right.
But I don't know. I'm having more faith in this administration, and I'm having more leeway to give them a little bit of a leash here to do what they want to do.
Yeah.
Simply because I'm seeing them in the field. Simply because I'm seeing what they're doing out there, and yeah, they are making mistakes, and they're just like, okay, well, you know what? Maybe that was a mistake. Bring them on home. Do whatever we need to do with this.
Right.
We apologize. You know, they're being open and transparent.
Right. Exactly. I agree. And also, one thing also is, I'll say too, I guess with the whole, economy deal, like the economy deal and what's happening. Yes, his tariffs are going to bring some prices out, whatever, but at least he's saying that, yeah, we're going to go through some rough times and we're going to try to bring things back. Biden and them were fucking killing our money, killing our economy, and just being like, no, everything's fine. You have more money in the bank than fucking ever. And blah, all this bullshit. Right. At least Trump's being like, no, it's going to be rough for a little while, people. Like, okay, at least you're fucking telling us.
Yeah, to fix this shit. You're bringing back manufacturing into this country again. You're putting Americans actually back to work in those manufacturing plants. Like I said, the only thing that really did come come out good in the Biden administration was the Chips and Science Act, which I couldn't understand why only 4 companies got the money, and video being one of those companies. I couldn't understand why only 4 companies got the money. And again, I also thought back as to why Nancy Pelosi went over to Thailand, then came back, or Taiwan, then came back and bought Nvidia stock. It was a little weird.
Yeah. It's
But yeah.
hydrating.
Nvidia got the most of it, and then I thought about it, and I was like, Nvidia is the only fucking company with the infrastructure to do that right now.
Right.
Just like Tesla was the only company with the infrastructure to do exactly what the Biden administration wanted with their electric vehicles that they wanted the government to start using.
Mm-hmm.
And they raged out about how Trump's giving Elon $400 million.
Yeah. Right. Exactly. No. Yeah, I agree, Jen. Trump is actually making an effort to fix things. Yeah, I agree. He is. He's trying to. He's trying to do exactly what he can. I mean, he's doing that force of the tariff like trade war kind of thing, which I mean has worked with every other country besides fucking China. And
China's gonna
they're
hurt.
gonna have to. Yeah, China's gonna fucking hurt, man. Their yuan is going down bad. That's one reason why they're trying to get with that brick shit.
Well, it's not only that. This trade war is going to hurt us as well because everything's made in China.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is going to go the fuck up until our manufacturing catches up to the point of at least surpassing what we as Americans can cost versus them bringing it in through a tariff. It's going to hurt for a little bit until we get that manufacturing up.
Right. And like I recommend to anybody, especially whenever it comes to that, like whatever you think you might want or need that might be manufactured there, just buy it now and then wait for a while because otherwise food and shit's going to be normal. That's not what we get from China. No. So it's mainly tech and other shit like that.
A lot of tech, a lot of things that are actually like mass manufactured come from China. Like even the wood we cut down is shipped to China. They cut it the fuck down. They make it into things and ship it back to us.
Right. And that is one reason why we should have a pretty decent relationship with Canada. It would be nice if we did, is for lumber. They have a crazy amount of lumber that we don't get here in the States. So if we can do a good trade with that, because that is something that is fucking highly needed that they do have a lot of. I'll say that.
Yeah. But then again, you also have, wasn't it Trudeau who, when Xi Jinping walked up into his country, kind of ran up to him like with a smile, like he was all about to get praise. And then he's like, you leaked information between us. You leaked our private conversation. Get the fuck out of my face. And then he turned tail and fucking ran. You remember that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we got going on up there with Trudeau and everything right now. Yeah, he's supposed to step aside for the next one, but bitch, you resigned, but you're still going to be in office till the next person's chosen? How does that work?
Right. Yeah, yeah. Muffin said he made a China. Muffin say he made a China order and stopped it dead in its tracks as issue a shipper, meaning the tariff. Yeah, I could see that.
Yep. Hey, it's going to hurt for a minute, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you've hunkered down with everything you need. If your electronics breaks, you best get a replacement right now. If you can afford it.
I'll be playing my PS5. Well, PS5's from Japan, actually. Never mind. I'll play that sparingly, but never mind. I can just order that anyways. Haha.
Right.
Dude, it's fun. Did you see that fucking Trump anime thing that they put out? Japan's all about us fucking doing well. Japan is actually wanting us to do well. It's funny.
Yeah. We actually support Japan in a weird ass fucking way. We will rag on them because that is an entirely different universe over there. But yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Jennifer, thank you for the $10 dono. Davey and fam all have COVID. Yes, they do.
Yeah.
Yes, they do.
What up, Davey? I see you over there on the YouTubes. How you doing, brother? Hope you guys do better.
Yeah.
Or get better. My bad.
Like
do better and get better.
Hope y'all do better. Yeah, he came in like he literally woke up just as I was about to hit the live with the Rumble shit, and then I had problems. Davey, I figured that out, by the way. So we had to skip the pregame show on Rumble firsthand. We still had problems and went late, but yeah. I want to touch on this one before it's going to lead into the Rumble cut here, but I'm going to touch on this one here before we do this. This is I want to get your take on this one, Scott. I think this is going to be interesting to go through with you. U.S. says it is now monitoring immigrants' social media for anti-Semitism. U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services announced it will begin screening immigrant social media for evidence of anti-Semitic activity as grounds for denying immigration benefits requested. The screenings will affect people applying for permanent resident status as well as foreigners affiliated with the educational institutions. The policy will go into effect immediately. Oh, you stupid asshole, get away from me. In a statement issued Wednesday morning, the Department of Homeland Security said it will protect the homeland from extremists and terrorist aliens, including those who support anti-Semitic terrorism, violent anti-Semitic ideologies, and anti-Semitic terrorist organizations such as Hamas, Palestinian Islamic Jihad, Hezbollah, or the Houthis. There is no room for the United States for the rest of the world's terrorist sympathizers, and we are in no obligation to admit them or let them stay here, says DHS Assistant Secretary of Public Affairs Tricia McLaughlin. Whatever. What do you think about this, brother?
It's a pretty iffy thing. I really don't like it because I don't know. What if they're just like Jews suck? Like what? That's all they said. Does that mean that they can't get into the country now, even if they're trying to come in good and legally and want to work here and be here?
I mean, you don't even have to do that. I mean, all you have to do is just take it back to Nadler on the House rules about this whole situation. Anti-Semitism needs to be nebulous. It means to be whatever the fuck we want it to be. Basically, in his own words. Yes, I am paraphrasing, but just like the word racist, just like the word woman, just like everything else, you're trying to twist anti-Semitism to where it doesn't need a definition. Nadler argued it doesn't need a definition.
Yeah, I know. Then it becomes all encompassing, and then, well, now they all have lost their meanings, basically. There's like no real meaning to these fucking words anymore.
So what does it mean? What are you looking for with this? Are you saying, okay, anybody that says from the river to the sea? Because now you got a whole lot of domestic terrorists within the country, if that's a thing.
Right.
All these protesters for Hamas that were chanting that throughout our streets. Now you got a whole bunch of domestic terrorists at home. Right.
I don't like that they're going to be doing that. It's a little weird to me. I mean, I can understand they're trying to look for terroristic things, but it's a little weird.
I don't like it either because it's like you said, it's too all encompassing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so if somebody says, "Yeah, I don't like Israel because of this reason," like me, I do believe what they did was tantamount to genocide. Sorry, I don't.
Right.
I understand why. Cool, not really cool, but what I think they did was actually tantamount to genocide. So if I were to do that, am I now a domestic terrorist?
Right. Because wouldn't that also be considered thought policing? You know, not allowed to have an opinion.
These are coming from the people that popped out of the sewers in New York City because they couldn't get porn. I'm now anti-Semitic. I'm a domestic terrorist, ladies and gentlemen. We can't bring that up ever again. This goes into effect immediately. Shit.
Shit. Like,
I love this.
What the fuck?
I love the sewer Jews, man. That is the best story. I never fully understood the end of that story.
I still don't.
No, check this out. My wife led me down a rabbit hole with it. The digging that people were hearing under the city was the Jewish community.
Yeah, I know that, but I'm talking about why were they under there though? What was nothing's ever been said. What was found besides like the weird fucking beds that were like stained, which was super creepy.
No, not when you understand what they were doing. There was an underground cache of pornography and beds for people to fornicate in. They were digging other tunnels because the tunnels that they had dug at one point in time had been blocked off by the community. They were digging other tunnels to get back into that cave.
Right. And that brings the weird point that people were making, the child stuff. You know?
I got nothing on that. I don't know, but
I heard that's what people were saying straight from the beginning that I was hearing. And I mean, I never put shit off like that, especially when you see weird shit like that underground. You know?
I mean, the child thing, I've never seen anybody really dive into without it being a whole lot of, it sounds like a whole bunch of crazy shit, you know? That crazy shit could actually be true. I don't know.
Right.
I do know that there were a lot of Catholic priests running around diddling kids.
Oh, yeah. Well, and I think that, too, they wanted a path between buildings. I think they were trying to connect some buildings and shit.
Probably. But that's what it was. That's the reporting. That's what they were actually saying was there was a Kash. Mm-hmm. And I'm just like, we got sewer Jews coming out because of porn. It would be the best. It would be awesome if it was like old ass Playboys and VHS that they were watching and shit. Like wicked old VHS original status and shit. Oh man. Oh, that would be like great.
We're not even going new age, son. We're gonna stick with VHS and fucking tube TVs.
Yeah, the cathode tubes. Boom. But I don't like this as far as this goes either because, like you said, it's too all-encompassing as far as that goes. Now, there are some things that I kind of do agree with, saying that it would be kind of tantamount to domestic terrorism because these Palestinian protesters do get very violent, do get very Bernie, and very cut.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you're using violence and intimidation to get your way there. So, I understand it, but I can see how that can easily be weaponized against us, brother. And I don't like it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's the whole thing is that's exactly where my mind goes is like, where's the, I see where you're starting, but where does that end? You know?
Right. You know, and I can agree with the start of this kind of thing. It is kind of like the first signs that there is some terroristic acts going on. And you harbor some kind of terroristic belief.
Well, and that's like, I know that they're pointing it toward people trying to come in, whatever else. Right. But there was already this thing that's already been used in that same type of factor called the Patriot Act that all of us U.S. citizens are other. So is that going to be another extension of something? That's where my brain goes with stuff like that. Is like, how far is it out? Is it going to go and shit, you know?
Yeah. Then we have damn near, what was it? 750,000, FISA. FISA spying on American citizens, 750,000 just because you might have had contact with somebody that they considered to be a terrorist. You could have just said hello to them in a grocery store and now they're looking into you.
Right, exactly.
Is that kind of shit. And that it kind of worries me because I don't have a problem with Jewish people as a whole. What I do have a problem with is whether you are elected, appointed, or employed, 20% of our fucking government, our federal government, is made up of the Jewish faith.
Right.
That's a damn good overrepresentation of a country that's going to go to. We're going to go ham on anything and everything that even looks at Israel the wrong way.
Right.
You know? And I get why. Like, you know, they prototype everything we throw out there in the military because, I mean, it's just Israel hasn't seen peace in over 2,000 fucking years. And I doubt they ever fucking will.
Probably never will.
So, I mean, it's a perfect place to start prototyping and test bedding everything that we throw out there into the fucking world. Yes, I understand why we want to back that area, why we want to defend that. But, I mean, if it's a religious thing, I kind of want to just say, let the religions fight it the fuck out.
Well, And here's the thing, I mean, I get what you're saying too. I can understand that a little bit until it's the point of like people are like, well, it's our duty to, or even like say as like a Christian, you're supposed to defend Israel and them and blah. No, I don't have to do any of that. And especially as a US citizen, we don't have to fucking do anything for them at all. Like there's no obligation at all.
But there's also no obligation to Ukraine.
Right. Yeah.
There's no obligation to anybody else. You cannot promise your children to your promises today.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. There's no way in hell I can promise that my children, my grandchildren will fight for you just because I want them to. It's not a fucking thing.
Mm-hmm.
But yet that's what we're told to do with the military as far as that goes. I mean, I can understand some things. I can understand being militaristically involved in certain situations, but nothing about what I've seen within the past 15, 20 years should we have ever been involved in.
Right.
I mean, fuck Afghanistan, that whole debacle with that shit like that. Oh, weapons of mass destructions that never existed.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Even though they told them they were going there like 2-3 months ahead of time to give them time to move all that shit, and there was actual evidence about that, but we didn't. Okay, whatever.
Yeah. That's a whole other rabbit hole.
Oh, that's a way long time ago rabbit hole. But yeah, I don't like the fact that your government's trying to sit there and police the thought of anybody that may come into this country, let alone just ours, but police the thought process of anybody that may come in. Now, I get the understanding of maybe looking at it, is this a sign of terroristic things, or are they just some crazy little fuck ass? I understand that. I get that. And I do wholly agree with that. But like you said, how far does this go?
Yeah, how far does it go? That's the main thing for me.
And it kind of hasn't been explained in anything that I've seen with this, because after you were brought it up, I had looked into everything. But as far as what I've read in anything, nothing has been explained as to how far, what this entails, and how will they actually think this is a thing versus some crazy little fucktard out there,
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of agree with you at that point. And when you brought it up, I was like, oh, so you get it too. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we got one more before we hit the rumble. Let's not go ahead and hit this for the YouTube side, man.
All right.
This is kind of weird as well. IRS acting commissioner is resigning over deal to send immigrants' tax data to ICE. AP source says. The acting commissioner of the Internal Revenue Service is resigning over a deal to share immigrants' tax data with Immigration Customs Enforcement for the purpose of identifying and deporting people illegally in the United States, according to two people familiar with the decision. Melanie Krause, who has served as acting head since February, will step down over the new data sharing document signed Monday by Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent and Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem. The agreement will allow ICE to submit names and addresses of immigrants inside the U.S. illegally to the IRS for cross-verification against tax records. Okay. I thought illegals weren't on any kind of tax document anyway.
They shouldn't be, no.
So you're telling me that illegals are participating in our...
Mm-hmm. Well, didn't Doge just not too long ago find out that all those Social Security numbers were given out to illegals that were receiving Social Security and shit for like not even now from what we were finding out for years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't and for the people that listen with these committee hearings and everything, how long have they been saying with this immigration thing that illegals pay this much in taxes? Now, how could that be a thing?
Mm-hmm.
Because they're not supposed to do that. As far as the IRS giving immigrants their tax information to customs for illegal immigrants,
Right.
why the fuck are you resigning?
Right. Exactly. Either you're trying to get the fuck out because you want to cover your ass or whatever, or you know you're just going to get fired because you literally just did not do your fucking job.
Or
I'm going
I'm going
with a little bit of both.
and you let it go.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm going with probably mainly A. You know you're going to get fucked because now you're trying to cover your ass by resigning.
That sounds like it. But it does go on a little bit here. Acting Chief Counsel William Paul was removed from his role. Get the fuck out of here, AP. Was removed from his role at the agency last month and replaced by Andrew DeMello, an attorney in the Chief Counsel's office who is deemed supportive of Doge, according to two other people familiar with the plans who were also not authorized to speak publicly. The Treasury Department says the agreement will help carry out President Donald Trump's agenda to secure the U.S. border and is part of a larger nationwide immigration crackdown, which has resulted in the deportations, workplace raids, and the use of an 18th century wartime law to deport Venezuelan migrants. I love the way they word that.
Right.
The use of an 18th century wartime law to deport Venezuelan migrants. Like,
Yeah,
come
like
on.
like none of them had MS-13 tattoos or any sort of shit like that. Like they were just straight migrants. They were here for years. That's exactly how they're trying to word it.
Yeah,
And if they were here for years, they were fucking illegal and they need to get the fuck out.
they've been here illegally for decades. Why are you complaining now? You let them live here and go through our process for decades and you knew them? Come on now. Dude, this is your taxpayer dollars at work, ladies and gentlemen.
Right.
But yeah, just to sit there and know that this woman is stepping down. I'm sorry, is it a woman? Melanie Krause, yeah. Melanie Krause is stepping down because she knows she is totally fucked in this situation. There's no two ifs, ands, or buts about it. No two ways about it. If they're coming for you for this information, and you're just like, here you go, I resign. This is what I've been talking about, dude. What stops the next person from coming in and doing the same shit, making millions upon millions of fucking dollars, padding their own pocket? What stops them from doing the same shit when all they have to worry about is losing a job?
Is either resigning or getting fired. Like how is she still not able to be held accountable? I don't give a fuck if you do resign or not. The fact that you were in there and you refused to means there's something illegal going on. Now you need to get investigated.
Right? And it needs to happen. These people need to be held to. I'm sorry. I don't give a shit how in any way you feel about this Mayorkas motherfucker. Gitmo's too good for that dude. And they let him go through the fucking Senate. And I swear to God, because the House Democrats were able to argue high crimes is things like genocide. Misdemeanors is things like jaywalking. You can only impeach for high crimes and misdemeanors, genocide or jaywalking. Everything else in between is fair game. That was able to walk through, so the Senate came through and said this is unconstitutional because it doesn't rise to the level of genocide and damn sure doesn't fall to jaywalking. Have a good day. That's your federal
insanity.
Government, dude.
That's fucking insanity.
That's what happened.
Yeah.
But I need to see something behind this. This government is making moves. This government is doing shit, and I'm glad to see it. But I need to see something behind this. I need to see prosecutions of these people. Don't just let them fall to the, I quit my job, therefore everything's free and clear, right? I did nothing wrong. Bitch, no. You need to be held to a higher account than any other normal human being on this planet.
Yeah.
You are involved in our federal government. You should be held to a higher extent or held to a higher standard than at least the United States citizen.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, that was like Trump did, like whenever he was about to be running and whatever else, and like I was one of the people who was criticizing him online just for like stupid shit he was saying and whatever else, and I had somebody like in one of my comments being like, "Why you criticize him now? He's like one of the best friends we ever has." Like, because I have to hold this motherfucker to the highest goddamn standard because he's gonna run the whole fucking country.
Yeah,
What do you want me to
right.
just be like everything he says is good and blah? No, fuck that. If he's a retard, I'm gonna call him a retard.
You're damn right. You do some stupid shit, I'm gonna let you know. I'm gonna call that fucking shit out. You are running this goddamn country at this point. You think I'm gonna let you just slide just because
Somebody likes you or you did a half good job? I don't give a fuck. Yeah.
Right. But ladies and gentlemen, oh, by the way, hey Joe, hey Lenny, hey Elf. Sorry, everybody over there. Shane's in the house, RP.
Hey, what
Sorry,
happened to
everybody. I
everybody?
forgot to say hi to you guys. But we're about to hit up Rumble, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go ahead and do
Join
that
us.
as you got the link in the chat, and you got 3 minutes.
You're never gonna make it, you're not good enough. There's a million other people with the same stuff. You really think you're different, man, you must be kidding. Think you're gonna hit it, but you just don't get it. It's impossible, it's not probable, you're irresponsible. Too many obstacles, you gotta stop it, yo. You gotta take it slow, you can't be a pro, don't waste your time no more. Who the fuck are you to tell me what to do? I don't give a damn if you say you disapprove. I'm gonna make my move, I'm gonna make it soon. And I'll do it cause it's what I wanna fucking do. Cause all these opinions and all these positions, they come in millions, they blocking your vision. But no, you can't listen, that shit is all fiction. Cause you hold the power as long as you're dreaming. There's no way that you make it, and maybe you could fake it, but you're never gonna make it. Aren't you just gonna take that? Make them take it all back. Don't tell me you believe that. Aren't you just gonna take that? Or will you fucking fight back?